Welcome back, guys. It's time to start editing again. In the past hour and a half since my last stream of editing, yeah, I had to take a little break. Was feeling kind of physically weak, but listened to some Reiki. I have some Reiki on my phone going here right now, so yeah, it's a perfect time to jump into it. I'm going to dinner in at 7, which is an hour and a half from now. So I'm not sure if this will get done in an hour and a half, but let's just jump right in, get as much done as possible. Yeah.
I feel, I feel like that's the
Blooper. Oh, I'm getting hungry. That's okay. We're listening to Reiki for concentration and focus.
I feel like that might be the best way to praise Doctor Who is by referencing it to experiences that is by referencing it similarly to other episodes it's done before. Is by referencing it praise Doctor Who.
I make myself laugh. It's so funny.
So the legend of the Sea Devils. So Legend of the Sea Devils.
I like this random face I make here. It might have to be a thumbnail worthy thing. Nah, maybe not that as the thumbnail.
So Legend of the Sea Devils for a penultimate special. At best, it can be. So, Legend of the Sea Devils. For a penultimate special, there are things about it that can be reminiscent of what I loved about watching Planet of the Dead back in the day. Just a fun adventure story. The sort of ancient prophecy of this shipwrecked treasure.
Could have said that better, but that's fine. I'll probably put B-roll over that line.
Over hundreds of years that the Sea Devils used to escape captivity. And we find out the Sea Devils. We see the Sea Devils, the underground base for the Sea Devils sort of shipwreck area. The underground base that the Sea Devils build over the shipwreck area, I thought looked really, really nice. Great set design. Can't believe how great they can make Doctor Who look underwater.
Just found my thumbnail.
And choose to keep it whole and intact. Allow yourself to maintain healthy, energetic boundaries. This is the end of the session. Slowly start to bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel the weight of your body supported by the earth beneath you. Imagine roots
Just got my thumbnail screenshot.
And rewatch enjoyed. I really enjoyed. And honestly, I really enjoyed. Watching it a second time, I really enjoyed the action sequence that happens around the last 15-20 minutes. Where the Sea Devils and the pirate crews are all fighting.
Playing another Reiki one here.
Where the Sea Devils and the pirate crews are all fighting. The whole ancient prophecy aspect, kind of fun, kind of believable.
This I like how I review things, man.
Of course, the typical amount of cheesiness of trying to pull on your heartstrings, just like the threatening war lines and strings, just like the threatening war lines and just like the threatening war lines in the Sontaran episodes can make you laugh. So trying to pull on your heartstrings, And I'm really happy with how they tried their best to make the Sea Devils look as faithful to the 70s versions while revamping some of while revamping the Sea Devils look as faithful to the 70s versions while revamping some things about their look. And I'm really happy some things about their look. Great job. Devils look as faithful to the 70s version while revamping something things about their look. 70s versions while revamping some things about their look. Great job.
A little bit of shortened.
Faithful to the 70s versions while revamping something. So yes, it feels great to enjoy some Whitaker episodes. So yes, it feels great to soften up to more Whitaker era episodes after the past few years. I think it's pretty clear which episode I think is the better one. Thank you, War of the Sontarans, for being the entertaining sort of standard. So I think it's pretty clear which episode I think wins. Thank you, War of the Sontarans, for being the fun experience that we needed around this time. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.
All right, that's not the end of that. There, I said more stuff, but yeah, can't wait.
So almost done with my little procrastination break. I'm gonna do a little bit of practicing these sort of isolation dance. Annoying. I'm not much of a people person. Watching black people, it's the type of song that you could listen to it. Pick type of rap music. Stopped making sort of melodic. But to be fair, Graham and Ryan's internal conflict towards Tim Shaw, what a terrible name for a Doctor Who villain. That was the most memorable thing about the Series 11 finale, Battle of Ranskor of Kavos. And I'm actually a big fan of that black coat. And I'm actually a massive and I'm actually a big fan of that black coat that Jodie Whittaker gets to wear in some of Flux. That is a top tier Doctor Who outfit choice. That is a top tier Doctor Who outfit. That is that is a top tier Doctor Who outfit design. I'm really respecting how the 3 episodes of Flux that I rewatched, it's almost similar to Trial of the Time Lord status. I didn't like Trial of the Time Lord very much the first time I watched it when I was 13. But a lot of things about it, like some of the depth it goes into with the Doctor on trial, the sort of world building on Gallifrey, and the kind of trickery that's going on. It just had a lot of components that I found enjoyable. And the ultimate foe is my favorite part of that. And I think the ultimate foe is the best episode of this. And I think the ultimate foe is the best episode out of the season. Same note, I feel like I'm having a lot of fun just thinking about the random different plot points. Plot points that Flux tries to throw at us. And on the same note, I feel like I'm having a lot of fun just thinking about the random different plot points. About the random different plot points that Flux tries to throw at us. Yes, there is a ton of over explaining exposition of stuff that is happening on screen in a lot of these episodes. Let's jump right in. there is a Yes, there is a ton of over explaining exposition of stuff that is happening on screen in a lot of these episodes. Let's jump right in. episodes. Let's jump right in. I feel like that's the. I think I was enjoying the variety of set pieces and timelines. In was too loud. You notice a few moments where the audio is too loud for the dialogue.
I'm so happy now. It's a over 6 minute review. That's kind of rare for TV. Doctor Who fights.
It was too loud for the dialogue. Throw at us. I do notice that Flux tries to throw at us. I do notice a few moments where the audio is too loud for the dialogue. Random plot points that Flux tries to throw at us. Different plot points that Flux tries to throw at us. I do. People have. Yeah, I noticed it. Other people have pointed it out. There's so much over-explaining, over-expositionary dialogue in a lot of these episodes for some reason in these years. It's gonna feel amazing, attracting 30,000 views, 5,000 one other, and next year. It's possible. It's how I'm approaching making paper boy. That paper testing stuff was, so it is saved in different files. Allowed me to create content that allowed to good research, good cadence, good personality, 1,000 views. Yeah. So I want 3 TV fights in 2 weeks. I don't care if it's not as good as VG Retro or with what I have to say about really interesting that I have to reverberate about Seventh Doctor. They use their sort of jolliness as the manipulation.
What is that background hissing?
It's not as good as VG Retro. It was too loud for the dialogue. So yeah, he is absolutely the blueprint for what a doctor should be, and brings that aren't like the 11th Doctor. They're the least like maybe with a little bit of the anger, maybe a little bit, but other than that, whimsy, of course, Kobo-ness. I have to say about my approach to
This is background noise.
what is appealing about irate gamer. Ottoman tries to be as strong as forget it. Yeah. And the lack of stakes in this plot is very apparent in this Doctor Who episode compared to a lot of other ones.
I think this is where I start my next review after this.
But yes, a massive, explosive, war-torn setting of a plot for a plot wouldn't have worked that well for a 12th Doctor finale. Something 11th Doctor and his companion Clara are taken to the.
God, do I want to edit this? How long is this? This is long. Do I want to take a little break right now? Yeah. So I have about 22 minutes of footage left to. No, less than that. 22 minus 6. So bad at math. 22 minus 6 is 18? So about 16 minutes of footage left to edit. Let's take a small break, you know? That was good. That was good. I'm feeling physically better, and I could get this done before dinner time. My mood is already lifted for doing this. Let's play a different Reiki. Oh, that Reiki video was 5 seconds away from ending, so perfect timing here from you guys, from me. That feels good, but I'm not. No, I don't want to say that I'm not super happy with the second review stuff I'm talking about just yet. That's okay. I have time to figure it out. That's kind of sad. You've heard me talk about Twice Upon a Time. I kind of don't know if I want to review it, but that footage is in good focus though. So that kind of sucks. That being said, I can think of a TV fights if I choose not to do that one. All right. So like I said, some little bit of anxiety to think about the review after this, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm happy that this was a 6 minute review. In fact, I should probably bring in the official TV fights intro. Or should I do that later, you know? Yeah. I give myself time. But yeah, let me write down actually on this Google Doc that I had since like December about all the progress when I finish a bit of editing tasks. Let me write this down that I did this today. Log my progress, you know. How do you spell Reiki again? Reiki? Is there an A there? Sorry for being seeming like a lazy asshole on camera, but no, yeah. Damn man, yeah, I gotta start editing in about a minute. Should I take a one bull hit? I'll take a small bull hit. You guys have seen my hits today have been nice and small. Wow, I'm proud of myself there. That's such good content. But if the rest of the footage is a mess, then I have some work cut out for me. That's okay. I'm not gonna let that consume me right now. Just taking it easy, just relaxing, you know. Let me take a bullet hit now. Oh, jeez, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess it's time. But overall, yeah, you guys see me physically kind of struggling a little bit. But this is considered a decent day because I stepped up doing what I should be doing. God damn, I'm tired. No, I'm not tired. I had enough rest, but I don't know, you know, just physically. So, grinder. Fuck yes, Pratik. Fuck yeah, Pratik. Ah, where'd I put my pipe? There it is. Hmm. Oh, Jesus, man. I like how I deliberately didn't talk about 13 and Yasmin. But yeah, I do need to add some visual pictures and clips into that for sure to make it more better looking. I like the way divine timing works in this case, you know. Drugs in the morning got me soaring high like a kite, stylish indoors. I go getting lost to die. You know important, yeah, and it's so boring. I like my traveling stories, yeah. Pretty man, I kinda go natty. Pretty man, I kinda go natty. Trip on proportion, low fractions, say. It was a movie like Saturday. No, they do not have no modesty. It was a movie like Saturday. Tweak on proportions like average, eh? Think man, I kinda go natty. I like the wind between my lungs, dancing on my lungs, yeah. Chosen one, yeah. I know I am not having fun. Those two pretty small hits. There's still a good amount of the bowl left. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm sorry for seeming kind of groggy or like low energy today. But yeah, it's good acknowledging that past year or so, good decisions, not screwing myself over with alcohol anymore and stuff, even though I drank the past week and shit. Yeah, you're making that choice to be out there from today onwards. Hope to go a long time and remember how shitty and weak it feels, and just being sober is awesome. Being sober is great. Oh god. Completely sober when I was recording all that footage that I was just editing, so proof that just thinking clearer is good. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I'm gonna try to finish this bowl, if not one, two small hits, then back to work. Yes, indeed. So happy how my hair looks. In fact, I probably think I need to take a slight little bathroom break in a second. I'm excited to finish this review. I really am. So yeah, all this preparations and stuff that I've been doing, that I was like so casually talking about back in January, talking about it, all this stuff that I'm doing, this editing review stuff, talking about it since January in a way that I knew the sort of stress or anxiety that would come with taking on these tasks. But yeah, now I'm feeling, and it's worth it. I like my content. I haven't come back to my reviews in a while. I just rewatched some of my old live streams from this year after a while. So yeah, it's good that I'm taking a break from watching my content too much, but I'm making the points I want to make, and yeah. Oh, god damn, I'm tired. Okay. Back to work in a second. Let me go to the bathroom real quick. Oh. I'm tired of doing this to myself with alcohol after 15, 20, 30 days without it. Oh, I'm tired of doing this to myself. I like working out sober. I like organic juices and coffee instead of alcohol. Wow, man. Tired of everything. Couple more hits. Or one more hit, I think. Back to work. It's a small bowl left. Ah. Chill out, Pratik. Everything's fine, Pratik. Whoa. So that was awesome. Pretty much that review got done within like 30 minutes of editing. Now it's the rest of the 16 minutes of review footage left. I didn't anticipate with the 47 minutes of footage, as you probably heard in my timeline. Some of those clips was just me talking to the camera, just hyping myself up, expressing my thoughts. It wasn't necessarily review stuff. So yeah, I didn't take that into account. That being said, I'm excited to upload this. I really am. I don't know when, maybe tomorrow, but definitely I think before August. That would be nice. Yes, it would. Would be nice. How long did I take a break from TV fights? Like August to February, right? So September, October, November, December. About 5 month break from TV fights. And the first one was only a 3 minute review. So yeah. Goddamn, doing this smoking shit as a break low key, I think is the problem. This is a sativa though. But yeah, it's gonna make me a little tired, but I think I have a little bit left. Oh man.
Hi there, it's G, weather known system, because nobody has power. This Reiki energy can help you. And your intention. Stand strong,
Oh god.
soften in your energy. Take charge. Imagine what you can do. Free and clear.
Back to work.
All gone. Time for you to power up.
Oh, I am moving pretty slow today. Ah, editing time. Sprint number 2. Good luck, guys. Hopefully, you're being very productive along with me if you're watching. Yeah, man. Okay, let's jump right in.
The 11th Doctor and his companion Clara are taken to the 11th Doctor and his companion Clara are taken by unit to an art gallery to examine something from his past. Other ones. The lack of stakes in this plot is very apparent in this Doctor Who episode compared to a lot of other ones.
I'm gonna, as you can see, this is like a separate review that I did around the same time. So, I'm gonna open it in another document. I liked it. I was good at it.
How do you feel? Continue to be in charge of your energy. You can come back to this video anytime you want to reconnect with me, get a boost, and feel more empowered.
Past. The 11th Doctor and his companion Clara are taken to an art gallery by unit to examine something from his past. Examine something from his past. A painting from him and his previous incarnation from around the time of him and his previous incarnation from around the time of probably death and a painting of him and his previous incarnation from around the time of probably Dead Planet. A painting from him and his previous incarnation from him and his previous incarnation from around the time of probably Dead Planet. And something from his past. And his previous incarnation from around the time of probably Dead Planet. From around the time of probably before Waters of Mars. From, from around the time of probably before Planet of Dead. He is with Queen Victoria from the 15, where he is with Queen Elizabeth from the 1500s. Where he is with Queen Elizabeth from the 1500s, who turns out to be a Zygon. Where he
It's a lot of editing. Did I start the timer? I did.
because the Zygons from the iconic 70s, because they fled their home planet in the first few years of the Time War. Their home planet in the first few years of the Time War. So that the painting of the Time War brings up this internal conflict of what it means to the Doctor. Overall, I'm really fine with them. Overall, I'm really fine with them centering the concept. Overall, I'm really fine with them centering the whole concept of the 50th anniversary around the idea of the Time War. It is one of the most interesting facets that has been interjected into Doctor Who. It gives it a whole nother dark depth that the show is trying to reach with the last few years of the Seventh Doctor. The Time War is supposed to be this war to end all wars that spanned galaxies throughout the universe. It was between the Time Lords and the Daleks, but so many other races were involved in the crossfire. Billions of species and people died, and the Doctor had to blow up his home planet. Introducing this gave the Daleks that extra edge that they needed from Series 1 to 2013 at this point. I can't remember if they referenced the Time War again very much. I can't remember if they referenced the Time War again very much in the years, in the Capaldi years or the Whitaker years that much after this.
Yeah, true.
Let me try to think about that. Ninth and 10th Doctor described the events, the Nightmare Child. The Ninth and 10th Doctor described the events, the Nightmare Child, the Fall of Arcadia, the Nightmare Child, the Fall of Arcadia. Just random, simple, immersive little details like this really make you feel, really make this really like this really make you feel, really make you feel invested in this crazy, really make you feel invested. Before this came out with Night of the Doctor, we had established that there's an incarnation before the Ninth Doctor, after the Eighth Doctor, that there's an incarnation. And it just feels so imaginative, that scene with John Hurst's Doctor in the barn with Billy Piper, who plays this destructive weapon that destroys the. After the Eighth Doctor, that destroys the destructive weapon that destroys Gallifrey the moment. It gives itself a consciousness. And from the moment's perspective, gives the Doctor the option as the lone traveler, and as the probably the most, and as the most probably, and as probably the most important fighter, the most important asset in the Time War. I do wish I do wish overall the Day of the Doctor had more scenes where they showed a bit more of the grittiness of the Doctor's actions during the Time War. All we see is him shooting no more into a wall. I do wish we get more of that, Bruno. If this guy's supposed to be the wall, if this guy's supposed to be the War Doctor, then we should have seen more war-torn stuff. Banter between the 11th, 10th, and War Doctor is the iconic meat of the story. I don't care what anyone says, it feels fresh, it feels true to who the Doctor is in each of those incarnations. The conversation between forgetting about how many children there were on Gallifrey because he was too caught up in the Trenzalore of it all. And each of the and the War and Tenth Doctor not going to be able, and the War and Tenth Doctor are not going to be able to remember that they tried to save Gallifrey. That scene where all the Doctors swoop in and save Gallifrey, that is one of my favorite things ever. And I absolutely love the way that in the Day of the Doctor novelization, they detailed how each of the Doctors in their individual TARDISes, they went around Gallifrey, like saving people from rooftops, extinguishing fires, saving people's houses from tornadoes. They went around the planet doing what they needed to do to save people in this war-torn Gallifrey. And so that's what really made that event of all the Doctor's TARDISes flying towards Gallifrey as it was being frozen into a stasis painting cube. That's really what makes it the Day of the Doctor. And it would have been difficult to do this visually, but this is such a beautiful, great idea. And yeah, it's really chilling and almost brings a tear to my eye when I think about the final few pages of the Day of the Doctor novelization. Yes, Day of the Doctor, I absolutely. So yes, Day of the Doctor, I absolutely love those moments over the years when this feels like my favorite story that just really reinvigorates my passion as a fan.
What a fucking nerd.
As an anniversary special, it just demands your attention with these different dopamine hits to through all these through all these plot points. I don't care that much about the Zygon attention with these different dopamine hits to different dopamine hits through all these plot points. I don't care that much about the Zygon aspect, to be honest, but it's cool that they reference the awesome terror of the Zygons, which I probably would say is top five, at least top 10 Fourth Doctor stories. Great suspense, great direction. Great suspense, great direction, great lines in that one. It's been extremely hard for me to decide which anniversary special I like better, the Three Doctors or the Five Doctors. Just which one is better? I think for a lot of years I would typically say the Three Doctors as priority, but lately I'm kind of leaning towards saying I like the Five Doctors a little bit better, just because I feel like the humor in the Three Doctors might fall a little bit flat over the years. The Five Doctors The Five Doctors feels like a D&D game, some grounded elements, some serious elements, great callbacks, great use of other doctors, great use of 2, 3, 1, great use of 2, 3, Susan, the Master, Susan, the Master, the Master, the Cyberman. I feel like the humor, just feel like the humor might age it a tiny bit. Just feel like the humor might age it a tiny bit. I know people complain it's too much like a fairy tale, but I just have nothing but respect for this story and for being the last sort of filmic experience of Doctor Who, and probably the last most exciting, best story for experience of Doctor Who, and probably the last most exciting, best exciting episode. It's pretty much the last exciting best episode of Doctor Who. Like you think about Time of the Doctor, Day of the Doctor, they were like you think of Time of the Doctor, like you think about Time of the like you think of Time of the Doctor, Twice Upon a Time. They were kind of depressing, nice send offs. But Day of the last exciting best episode of Doctor Who. Like you think about Time of the Doctor, Twice Upon a Time. They were kind of depressing, nice send offs. But Day of the Doctor is pretty much the last great, best, exciting Doctor Who story, I think. The lack of stakes in this plot is very apparent in this Doctor Who episode compared to a lot of other ones. The 11th Doctor, why didn't they include Jodie Whittaker in the scene where all 13 Doctors save Gallifrey? Doctor Who is so bigoted and misogynistic. Just kidding, they included Whittaker. Just kidding, they included 13 at the end of the Day of the Doctor novelization. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Why didn't they include Jodie Whittaker in the scene where all 13 Doctors save Gallifrey? Doctor Who is so bigoted and misogynistic. Just kidding, they included 13 at the end of the Day of the Doctor novelization. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I wonder what the Sontarans were doing during the time where they must have been like, we're not the main forefront of this war, so yeah, we should just, there's no victory in us being involved. Like with Beast Below, for example. Like with Beast Below, for example, the scene where the doctor takes the glass of water and puts it on the floor, at first I was like, okay, maybe this might be a bit too much. But then seeing what that scene amounts to in the episode, like the doctor's trying to test the vibrations of the engineering pretty much. It felt like it fit into the story, and overall, I like the Beast Below. I don't think it deserves to be as called as bad after last rewatching it. There's something about it has a good quality to it. Beast Below. The comparison to the Time War and the Space War, the comparison to the Space War and the The comparison to the space whale and the Doctor's internal conflict with the Time War, maybe to some people it might have been, maybe Time War, maybe to some people it might have felt played out by that point, but to me it felt perfectly fine. Having it make Amy realize that the Doctor's having it make Amy realize that after all this time, two adventures spanning a lot of years, these are events that show her that the Doctor is really that old and really that kind and wouldn't want to see children cry. So it makes sense and it worked for me. And yes, the ironically conflicting morals when Jihan kills a sea devil and the Doctor condemns him for it, and then literally a scene later, Dan kills like 6 sea devils and they're joking about it. Doctor Who contradicting itself like that in one scene. Hellbent is worse to Day of the Doctor for what Invasion of Time did to Gallifrey for Deadly Assassins. Hey, yo, hurry up, you're gonna miss all the words on the screen over there. And yes, the ironically conflicting morals when Jihan kills a sea devil. Hellbent is worse to Day of the Doctor for what Invasion of Time did to Gallifrey for Deadly Assassins. I really like this green underground base setting. I don't know about other people. I think it looks. I think it looks better than. I think it looks better than Vampires of Venice. Speaking of which, that shot where Matt Smith is climbing that tower in the thunderstorm, that does look very green screen. But other than that, Vampires in Venice still had moments like Matt Smith running away from an explosion. Moments still had moments. It's like Matt Smith running away from an explosion and falling. That balanced out the cheesiness with good stuff. I like to say that I've been in my Shuri Gatwa era in terms of how many scenes from Doctor Who make me cry on rewatch. I might as well make a top 10 saddest Doctor Who scenes list. And it's just a thumbnail of Shuri Gatwa crying. I like how there's no explanation for the Sea Devil Mario jump.
Oh, this is a lot to edit. So I reviewed Day of the Doctor. I thought I reviewed Twice Upon a Time, but I guess I didn't.
Penn and Clara are taken of a plot for a use of this whimsical, jolly, but untouched typical of me. And spiritually, I think I manifested a vein of reviewers would lack of stakes in this wouldn't have worked that well for a 12th Doctor finale. Something Penn and Clara are taken afraid the moment as it was being frozen into a state. But lately, I'm kind of leaning towards.
Wow, guys. Yeah, so this Doctor Who fights, that was with the Time of the Doctor. I didn't talk about Twice Upon a Time because I think my thoughts on that are pretty basic. So I could like try to review Reality War, if not an 11th Doctor story. We shall figure this out. So that was a really good sprint. Before I end things for a second, let me bring some of this into the different timeline.
I like how Shooting Gashua crying. I like how I on rewatch. I might as well make it out the cheesiness with good stuff. Smith running away from an explosion and falling. That does look very green. Than Vampires of Venice. Speaking of which, I really all the words on the screen over. And the Doctor condemns him for it. Bent is worse for deadly assassins. Yo, hurry up, you're gonna miss all the words on the. So it makes sense and it worked for me. These are events that show her that the doctor's really that old and really that green underground base setting. I don't know about other words on the screen over there. Venice. Speaking of which, that shot where Matt Smith is yo, time to Gallifrey. That does look very green screen, but other than that, Vampires in Venice still had moments like Matt Smith running away from an explosion and falling. That balanced out the cheesiness with good stuff. I like to say that I've been in my Shuni Gatwa in terms of how many scenes from Doctor Who make me cry on re in one scene. Yo, hurry up, you're gonna miss yes, the ironically conflicting morals when Shooty Gashua crying. And yes, the ironically could show her that the doctor's really where maybe to some people it might have felt played out by and puts it on the floor. At first I was like, okay, maybe this might be a bit on the screen over there. I really by unit to an art gallery to examine something from his past. The stakes in these episodes for some reason in these years. And yes, the ironically conflicting morals when G that Vampires in Venice still the lack of stakes in this plot is very apparent.
Woohoo! 7 minutes without an intro for Doctor Who Fights 7, and 6 minutes, 6 minutes without a definitive other episode that I'm talking about. Only one episode, Day of the Doctor, for Doctor Who Fights 8. So got some first thing on my mind. Do I want to summarize freaking Twice Upon a Time, or do I want a different episode like Time of the Doctor, or maybe Town Called Mercy? I already kind of talked about that before. Um, just watched Reality War. Possibly I could talk about that. Yeah. All right, guys. That was pretty awesome. Stay tuned for when I upload these. Oh yeah, I still have to look at my notebook for some notes and shit. But yeah, guys, I feel really good right now that I pretty much finished it. Just have some more things to figure out. All right, guys.